Thanks for tuning in again, everybody. We're back with your favorite podcast, Luca's Tigers and Bronze, oh my.
So, Luca Nation, welcome back to our weekend episode of Luca's Tigers and Bronze, oh my. We got the big man over there. He's excited. He's been hitting me up all morning. He said, let's do an episode. There's so much going on. We got the Super Bowl this weekend. Top Shot is releasing a kind of a premium pack. I don't even know what he's got going on in the background there. I think he's making like clay buildings or something, or sculptures.
Dude, it's Ian's Lego. So you check out what he did here. He's got London, he's got New York City, he's got San Francisco. You know, he's building Legos, man. It's good stuff. We'll get a Lego sponsorship, maybe. Maybe we'll start talking about Lego as an alternate investment. It's definitely a good thing to flip.
Remember that store in on Fifth Avenue? It's like J.A. Schwartz or something like that?
FAO Schwartz. You made him much more Jewish than he is. But yes, FAO Schwartz.
Pretty cool store. I remember going in there and just playing with the toys when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen the movie Big?
No.
Well, they film it in there, I think. It's one of Tom Hanks's first, acclaimed roles. Back before he was too good to do, little comedies. That's what he grew up on, Punchline and Bachelor Party and The Money Pit. He was in a lot of garbage movies before he was this, fancy pants actor. But he did a movie called Big, where as a young kid, he makes a wish on a machine at a carnival called Zoltar Speaks. And he turns into an older man overnight, and he gets a job, of course, the perfect job for a kid in an adult's body. He gets a job at a toy company. And it's a really cool scene. If you haven't seen it, you probably have seen clips from it anyway, where they're at that store and the boss, the owner of the company, they play the piano together. They play chopsticks on the piano, and it's one of these like life-size pianos where they're like jumping on it. They're stepping on it and they're like sliding
like
across.
A life-size chess set.
Yeah, but a piano. So it's a cool, and it's all filmed at that store. That's why I digress. But it's a cool scene. If you haven't seen it, guys, I know this is an '80s movie, maybe early '90s, but Big, pretty cool, funny flick.
So my generation, we grew up on YouTube and TikTok influencers, and I don't know if you know this guy, but do you know Max is Nice? He's the guy that impersonates the NBA players.
No,
you've never seen him. He does an amazing job. He just does like 1 to 2 minute impersonations. He does an amazing one of Curry. He does an amazing.
Impersonating them what? Like how they dribble? It's not like a Frank Caliendo, right? Where he impersonates their voice.
No, Frank Caliendo is amazing, and
yeah.
The way he impersonated Trump and some other celebrities is so spot on.
His best ever is Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman reading the LeBron letter where LeBron left is the funniest thing ever. If you're just listening to that, like he did it on the radio, you would think it was Morgan Freeman.
If you look this guy up, it's just Max is Nice. He's a celebrity impersonator, and I think he does an amazing job. He's hilarious. Like he does plays like how like LeBron runs and how LeBron passes and how Curry does. He just impersonates NBA players. But anyway, he did an impersonation of Durant and Kyrie last night. He's like how Durant and Kyrie warm up. Right. And he was like burning sage, walking around the gym. You're laughing. That's hilarious. So what happened was Kyrie responded. He's like, this is so disrespectful. You're making fun of my culture. Something. You guys could read the entire comment. So basically comes at him because this guy who's an impersonator makes people laugh. It insulted Kyrie's heritage that he was walking around with sage and put a video up. But anyway, cancel culture is all over it. And they're trying to make it seem like Max is Nice. This guy is a bad person. Max is Nice basically said, dude, I'm an impersonator. I make fun of everyone, and it's just for humor. Let's get in the ring and let's do a celebrity boxing match.
Oh,
people are trying to cancel
there. So you know what's worse than cancel culture? The boxing culture. That now instead of like I hate the whole like you can't do anything anymore without being canceled, but I hate even more. Oh, let's box. Every celebrity in the world is following the Jake Paul method of fandom and celebrity here. Let's go box. I'm gonna box you. Let's get in the ring and box. Celebrity boxing.
Why do you? That? It's kind of cool. It's kind of primal. It's kind of cool. No,
I think it's a little silly if I'm being honest. Right, for a society, think about how it goes there. Right, for Kyrie, whether he's right or wrong or whatever you think about it, what he's trying to say to this guy is, this offended me on a level you didn't realize it was going to offend me, and start a conversation about that. And take cancel culture for whoever it is. If it hit Kyrie in that way, and he's being honest, and it was an offense to his heritage, then is it really the proper response to come back to that? Wouldn't you rather say, all right, let's talk about it? Explain to me how this hit you on that level, and I'll learn from it. Instead, you go 180 degrees the opposite direction. All right, let's just fight. Let's just punch each other. You know what I mean? So,
I'll meet you in the parking lot of the high school at 3 p.m.
That's it. Step into the cage. By the way, 3 O'clock High, another great 80s movie. 3 O'clock High, about a bully.
You have a good point, Cage. You have a good point. He could have. Max Ice could have.
Could have taken a different direction, and maybe he gets more play out of a boxing. Maybe now he can say, Kyrie's not going to box him. Maybe he will box him. Who the hell knows? I doubt it. I mean, that would be the dumbest thing Kyrie ever did. Have to wait till he retired, I guess. But listen, there's one thing I've learned. I don't want to mess with Uncle Drew. I mean, he's on another level. He's on another planet. He's on another level. I don't really want to mess with Uncle Drew.
I love it. What else you got for us? Top Shot is dropping a pack with no superstars in it that costs $999.
So Top Shot, let's do it. I mean, this is as polarizing as Bitcoin was for our audience. Top Shot has become that too, because there are a lot of people outside looking in. A lot of people are like, I don't care about Top Shot, and yet there is a rabid fan base of people who do want to hear about it. Just a quick 5-minute on it. Yes, they're dropping a pack today. It will have dropped probably by the time you hear this, but it's the first. I haven't been in that long, so it's the first non-common series. There you go, Michael Scott. Yeah. Woo.
I threw him off.
No, so I've been in for a few weeks, and this is the first non-common drop. And previously they had non-common drops, and like a cosmic, the most expensive pack was $230, and you got all these great cards in it and the whole deal and blah blah blah. This pack is a holo. It's the second series of holo. The prior holos were basically limited out of 50, and this is now out of 99, and they have 27 different players. So there's only a total like 2,600. I think it's 2,673 packs total, and they're charging $999 each. So here's why this is relevant for anybody who's looking to get into Top Shot. You probably won't remember Crazy Eddie. His prices are insane. If you believe in the long-term prospects of Top Shot, I think it's something that's going to be here to stay, as I personally do. What happened today is people woke up with account balances of $100, $200, $300, and realized that they were going to need $999 in their account to try to get one of these packs. No guarantee you get one. Even if you want to spend the $999, you still have, to get in line in the queue and all that fun stuff, right? But if you do want one, you have to have $999 in your account balance to pay for it. So people are liquidating their stuff today. So today was a day of bargains. Today was a day, I have to tell you, I've been what I hope is bottom feeding. I hope it's not, catching a falling knife on this stuff. But, people are selling Zions that were, $200 and, we're dropping to $100, $90, for like $60. Same thing, John Morant, like quality stuff. I'm not talking about buying Keldon Johnson or anything here, which, is fine. I've got my share of him. But, quality guys, quality names that people are selling cheaper than they otherwise would because they're trying to build up a balance today to go for one of those packs. So my play on the day was, not to, oh, I'm going to get a pack. If I get a pack, I get a pack. It's to look for people panicking and selling their stuff too cheap. And I think I scooped up 20 Zions today, 10 Jazz. I grabbed a Luka, the names, the guys who, if it's going to be good, as I think it's going to be, those will be the ones that will probably go up in value over time. So, but as far as the pack itself, 27 holos. There's you get gold cards in them too, but we went over the checklist, and of the 27 holos, the difference between this series 2 and series 1 is all the big names were in series 1. You had Luka, you had LeBron, you had all these guys. This one, of the 27 names, I'd venture to say that only 4 of them, maybe 3, depends how you feel about Tyler Hero today, only 4 of them are money makers. Mm-hmm. And there's no huge banger, like a LeBron holo gets over $100,000. This one here might be, 30 or 40 because it's a series 2 and there's twice as many, right? But LeBron's not in there. So, that I think that's a little opportunity missed for them, because it would be great press for them if they were to sell someone a $1,000 pack, and they were able to, open it up, grab a LeBron, sell it for $25,000 or $30,000, and then go to Twitter or Instagram and post, "This morning I put $1,000 in my account. I opened up a pack. I sold it for 25 or 30." That's the kind of press that will allow sustainable growth. I think the best one is maybe Curry. There's Curry and Anthony Davis and Kawhi and Tyler Hero. I think are the top 4 of the 27. The other 23 are kind of like, middling guys,
Would it surprise you if I told you in the last 24 hours, according to CryptoSlam, NBA Top Shot is up 22.72% though?
Up how? Like in volume of sales?
Yeah, sales volume.
It depends on what it is. So a sales volume wouldn't surprise me at all, because of what I just told you. I think people are selling a lot so that they are now building their account balances up to buy this. So yes, I wouldn't surprise me at all. Yes.
A lot of activity. There's also this thing, I don't know if you've seen it. It's called hash masks. It's kind of the same concept, but for art, digital art.
Yep.
I have no idea about it, but if you look at CryptoSlam in the last 7 days, it's up 40,000% in sales volume. So a lot of activity. And like we talk about all the time, you don't actually have to deposit money to create an account on this and just play around. Just see what it's about, because when something that has so much attention from the users, whether you agree with it, fundamentally, a lot of people are like, I don't agree with crypto, I'm not going to do anything. Whether you agree or not, there's a ton of benefit of going on, creating an account, and just watching and seeing what other people talk about.
It's true. They're on Discord. Because of this, I have a Discord now. I didn't even have that before this. So this is the reason why I'm now, I have an account. I'm on Discord. And, and look, if you are somebody who has not gotten on it yet, and, you've only heard it from our podcast, and now there's thousands of you listening, send us a message on the Lucas, Tigers, and Prawns. Send us a message with your, with your name on Top Shot when you create an account. Send us a message, say, hey, I only created this account because I heard about it on your podcast. And maybe I'll send you a moment. Maybe I'll send you one of these things, nothing crazy. There are moments that are $3, $4. Maybe I'll send you one. And if you like it, you can keep it. You'll have one in your account. If not, you can sell it and try to buy another one or buy a pack or something, So I got plenty. And we'd love nothing more than to get somebody involved in something else in the hobby. And, I'm not giving every one of you a moment. I don't want to promise that, but I'll definitely give a few out. Send us some messages.
Paige, I don't know if you saw. We got a few messages this morning from people saying thank you for creating these Instagram groups. Mm-hmm. It's been I've found amazing plays. I've made amazing contacts. I appreciate you guys for creating these groups. So Discord is a group that we don't control, but we also have a ton of Instagram groups where you guys can join and have conversations and dialogue and things like that. So,
and guys, we're here to help you. A couple weeks ago, I said buy all your Trevor Bauer cards you can, and he will sign. He's going to sign with a team, hopefully a big market team. And when he does, his cards are all going to fly. He signed with the Dodgers. And do you see what happened with his cards? And you see how many messages we got from people showing us what they paid and what they're selling them for now on ComC or on Star Stock or wherever it is. So,
2012 Prism, right? Trevor
2012 Prism. Yep.
It's like $1, $2 a card. Now it's probably 15.
Yep. You could, those things are bare minimum 3 to 4x of where they were available, and there were plenty of them. People are showing us, they're sending us pictures. Here's the day your episode dropped. Here's what I paid for them. I bought a lot of 5 of them, and I just sold one for what I paid for 5.
We were star stocking people even before Star Stock. I love it. Cage, something I wanted to jump on here, and you actually just talked about it a little bit, but in another one of my hot takes, I believe for the next 12 months,
Wait, let me guess. You believe that India is like Anthony Davis?
Close. I believe Bitcoin is the safest investment that you can have in the next 12 months.
All right. Okay. The safest investment in the next 12 months is Bitcoin. I'm going to have you elaborate on it, because there are a lot of people out there who have different varied reactions to you. There are enough people out there right now who are saying you're out of your mind. So explain. Give us the reason why.
Well, in the last, I think 6 months, I don't know the exact number, but in the last 6 months, we've printed more than 40% of our debt. So we were printing more money in the last 12 months, if you just go back that far, than we've basically ever printed in the history of the U.S. economy. But more than that, what I'm seeing is just across asset classes. You could go stocks, you could go sports cards. Is just an insane amount of volatility. So I think day traders are going to crush it. I really believe it. If you're a good day trader in these next 8, 9, 10 months to the end of the year, you're going to crush it. There's so much volatility, right? Because day traders, they don't necessarily need a good market. They just need volatility. So if you're a day trader, and Timothy Sykes is someone I follow, so shout out to him. He does an amazing job. But from just a purely like risk reward, if you guys want to take some money off the table and you don't want to have a headache of worrying that, like, you know, when you put your head on the pillow at night, you're going to wake up with 50% of the value. I truthfully believe that Bitcoin, specifically Bitcoin, Ethereum down the road, you could do your own research, is the safest investment that you can make.
I think it's sports cards. And I have one little story to let everyone know. I went to the post office this morning to pick up our Luca Nation submissions. We're getting a lot. So send us your subs.
Safest, you'd say, is sports cards?
Yeah, and here's why. The mailman, the postal worker who was taking my stuff to send today for you, my consignments I sent the probes team, my consignments I sent out to the wharf, and he was giving me back the Luca Nation submission mail. He says, hey, I guess you do PSA submissions, huh? I said, yeah. You need some information? He says, I got some Pokemon cards. I got some Derek Jeter cards. I got some stuff I want to submit. Give me all the information. So this is the guy working in the post office, accepting the mail and giving us the mail from our P.O. box. Obviously not in the hobby. You know, I spoke with him for a little while. He was a comic book guy in the 80s and early 90s, and, you know, obviously has some stuff. But he's like, you can't escape it. He says, I turn my phone on and it's on Yahoo News. I turn the news on and, you know, it's all over the place. And you know, you can't escape sports cards. Sports cards are a place you got to put your money in.
Paige, do you realize the difference that what you just said versus what I said? You gave people an industry, a sector to look at, where I gave a specific asset. So I agree. But you also have to admit that sports cards aren't a one size fits all.
So you want people just investing in Bitcoin itself, no other altcoins?
No, I didn't say invest. I didn't say invest. I said it's going to be the safest investment, the least downside, with possibility of significant upside. That's what I meant.
So you think, what is Bitcoin at now? 30 what? 30,000? How much is it? 40.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's nothing that caused Bitcoin to go down because of the infrastructure, the adoption, the mainstream conversations, and how many big players have come in, and how it's being seen. And it's seen as as a hedge for inflation. But I agree that sports cards are going to keep going up. But
so why not gold?
I don't know enough about gold.
Well, that's a good reason to say that obviously the one you do know about is the safest place to put your money.
Well, Bitcoin is digital gold. So I am actually suggesting that gold is the best investment.
Now you're worse than me. Now you're suggesting two sectors, gold and Bitcoin. So now it's altcoin. And what about silver, platinum? What about like other precious metals?
Gold, you can invest in gold in two ways. You can buy the gold bricks, like Italian Job. Like you could go like, you ever see that movie?
Yes, I have.
Okay. That was just like, I like thrillers. So like gold bricks.
Yes. So call them bullion is what they're called. Bullion. You can buy it either in little slabs. You can buy them in coins. They have Krugerrands in Africa. Amazing. They have maple leafs in Canada. They have the panda, yuan in China.
Or you can invest like a gold ETF. I don't know enough about either of those and how they move and how they trade. So I don't want to speak on that. But
which ones do you want to know about? You want to know about J Nug? You want to know about what J Dust? You want to know about the triple reverse funds on gold?
May I continue?
The triple index?
May I continue? So you said
you have
sports cards, and here's why. But sports cards is a sector. That's like saying cannabis stocks are going to go up this year. But
which I think they are. It's a good one.
But which one specifically, right? Like, is it going to be Pokemon cards? Is it going to be modern basketball? Are we sleeping on baseball? Are we sleeping on vintage baseball? Is it going to be vintage NBA? What about vintage? I spoke
to somebody about that yesterday. It's a great way to go. So guys, listen, Bitcoin, Andrew thinks it's a good place to put your money. You don't have to buy a full
It's the safest
you can buy a bit of Bitcoin. So I think, believe it or not, I'm going to start doing my research on this and start playing, this game. I'm going to start putting my money back in modern basketball. And I'm talking about like Zion and Luka and that kind of stuff. And here's why. I was talking about this with somebody yesterday. My boy Mike Secco. So if you're listening, Mike, this is from our hour-long conversation yesterday. Some of our listeners,
Mike, add a picture to your Instagram profile, bro.
Yeah, add a picture.
So shady.
Listen, I can't really complain, right? I mean, he just like I joined Instagram because Gary asked. He joined Instagram because I asked him to, right? So, but he's all over Blowout. He's making deals all the time, and but I'm talking to Mike yesterday.
So influential, Cage.
Yeah. So what we talked about was, there was a time last year where, let's say Zion's Prism was $1,000 and LeBron's Topps Chrome was $10,000. It was a 10 to 1, right? Just round numbers, right? 10 to 1, right? And you could have, look at your money and say, all right, I'd rather have 10 Zions. Now, think of the people who have that LeBron Chrome. Maybe people had 2 of them. They bought them for a couple $1,000s. Right now, the LeBron is what? Let's just say $500 as a round number. It's probably more than that, but let's just, for the sake of my story here, I'd say they're $500, right? And the LeBron card is $30,000. I'm gonna round that one down, right? So $30,000 for LeBron Chrome and $500 for the Zion, just for the sake of easy math. So a year ago, you could have a 10 to 1. Now it's 60 to 1. All right. So if I'm a guy who has 2 LeBron Chromes, right, and I've seen it run, and Andrew, you can comment on this. Sometimes when your investment runs, it's better to take your money out because it's harder. That thing has to now 5x to match the kind of gains that it had to run up to that 30 that it's at now. And it's smarter to take your money out and find someplace else, or just have it out of that and have that money available. It's the kind of thing that you try to explain to, like, say, your dad when he's just not getting it. You know what I mean? You understand, right? So my thought is that LeBron has gone to 30, and I'm sitting there saying, all right, within the last year, that LeBron would have got me 10 Zions. I can go get 30 of them now, right? I can go get 30 of them now. I go get 60 of them now. I got 60 of these things now, right? And that LeBron now goes from 500 to 750, right? And I make 50%, right? I make 50%, right? The LeBron has to go to like 45, 50 grand for that same thing to happen, which I'm not saying it won't happen. Obviously, it's already flown. But I think in my mind, conceptually, I can see it easier for the Zion to go from 500 to 750 than for the LeBron to continue to go exponentially thousands upon thousands of dollars. That's just me.
There's 2 things at play here, right? One, we're not talking to millionaire investors here who are building out a portfolio.
Correct.
If a LeBron goes from 30 to 40, they're happy because they probably own 15 LeBrons.
Correct.
That's a different game. If you're out there and you have $1 million stock portfolio, $50 million invested in Facebook stock, well, you're happy getting your 5% return, right? Cool.
Yep.
So we're talking to the average guy that's trying to become the millionaire, really. And that's why, and the second concept is the law of diminishing returns, which is so fascinating, right? Because for like when a stock goes from $1 to $2, it goes up 100%, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you have a LeBron card now to go up that same amount. That LeBron card, which is 40K actually now, has to go to 80,000 for you to get that same return.
Yep.
I think about that a lot, especially talking to retail traders. I think a lot talking to my dad, in the sense that when you already had such a significant run up, this is how I put it. He invested in a few vaccine stocks. They went up to $200. Now, they have to go to $400 for him to double his money. But more than likely, after that run-up, what could happen is they drop back down. Would you be surprised if the LeBron dropped from 40 to 25?
No, because it happened. People take profit. You know what I mean? It's happened before. When it went to 10, it dropped back down to 75. When it went to 15, it dropped back down to 10. And I'm not saying...
Now your risk-reward ratio completely changed. Because you're still holding a ton of risk because it could drop back down, and more than likely, experience has shown after a run-up, there is a drop back down.
Yep.
In the hopes that if everything perfect case scenario works out, it has to go to 80K for you to just double your money from there. And I think about it a lot. It's a great point. I'm glad you brought it up with the Zion. I don't know the full theory. I think we're kind of extrapolating the theory in front of you guys' eyes and ears here.
It's just the way to think, right? And that's good. I mean, it's great that you're doing it. It's great that we're talking about it, right? Because that's what people listen to. It doesn't have to be the LeBron and the Zion. Just use those as easy examples of cards that have run and cards that have gone the other direction. But the point is, you have an amount of money out there, and what you're trying to explain to your dad, and what we're trying to talk about here with our listeners is, it depends on what your risk appetite is too, right? Sure, if you have millions of dollars, 5% makes you a ton of money, enough money to live on, right? But if you don't have millions and you're trying to get that million, you have to try to replicate those returns that you've made. And once a card has already gone 5 or 6x, the likelihood that it's going to continue 5x over the next year, that means it's gone 25x from your original. That's hard to do, right? You might be better off taking your profit out of that and trying to find something else. And by the way, this isn't anything new. This is what everyone is doing now, which is why you see Marvel cards going for what they did. Why that Black Panther card that I just sold for $2,750. Why Harry Potter cards have gone up. It's exactly what we talk about here. We're trying to find the next thing. It's why for the first time ever, major auction houses are selling Rafael Nadal and Serena Williams cards. Because everybody is looking, they're taking their money out and they're looking for the next thing that might 5x, right? So
I'm going to use this to lead right into our play.
Please.
When you see a run up like this, that's so crazy, you're going to see arbitrage opportunities. And here, I'll give you guys an example, but then I'll extrapolate it down to the bottom. A BGS 9 and a PSA 9 of a Michael Jordan Fleer have an arbitrage opportunity of 30,000. A PSA 9 of a Michael Jordan Fleer card is 60,000, 66 to be exact. A BGS 9 version of that same exact card is $30,000. Now, when you see that kind of run up, that's what's going to happen, right? Because the run up usually specific to, I want to chase PSA versions of the LeBron, of the Jordan, whatever. Where there's other cards that are similar that are being left in the dust that are eventually going to catch up. So my opportunity for you guys is, and I think this would apply to basically any card that's in the vintage market that's between 1,000 to 40,000. And this depends on your risk appetite. I think it's your guys' responsibility to go on 130 point and search the same card in a PSA 9 and a BGS 9. And you're going to see insane arbitrage between those two numbers, those two recent sales. And if you're okay with it, if you have the expertise and we could help you with this, I would buy the BGS 9, crack it, not cross it, express today, and I think you're going to have insane flip opportunities.
I like it.
It's a different play. It's a different play. It's not as much of like a buy, hold, and speculate. It's the risk appetite is for cracking the card. That's where the risk appetite lies. But I think there's going to be a ton of opportunities for $1,000 cards, BGS 9s that would sell for $3,000 or $2,500 in a PSA 9 version, that all you need to do is grab that card, crack it out, sub it 2-day, 5-day, flip it like that, and you could make $1,000.
All right. Listen, I love it. Right. So my play, so a couple things. One, I'm like knee deep in Top Shot. Right. So if you're in there, I'll give you a play for that right now, and then I'm going to give you a regular card play. So I can try to do both. It kind of goes along the lines of what we're talking about like easier to double. Right. So everybody goes in there and they want to buy LeBron. Everybody goes in there. They want to buy all these fancy cards. I can tell you guys what I've been doing. I think I mentioned this, but if it's the first time you heard this, that's fine. Today, again, I double down on my Kobe White Series 2. You get them for $2, $3, right? I don't want to tell you how many I have. I'm not the only person doing this, right? So I saw a picture somebody posted. A couple of days ago, they probably have more now. They had 464 Jaylen Browns, right? And I'm like, wow, this guy is clearly buying. And I've sold them, and they sell in like 2 seconds. So obviously, he's buying them all, right? But the thought there being, right, that eventually that moment is going to retire. They're going to move on to the next stuff. They're going to have other things that happen during the season that make moments out of them. And that's not going to be available in packs anymore. And, this individual is going to have like 1 out of every 10 that are available. He's going to have the market kind of cornered. But if he's paying $4 or $5 for them, it's easy to see that moment going for $10, easier than $1,000 moment doubling to $2,000. Right. Same thing with my Kobe Whites. I'm buying them for $2, $3. If they go to 5 or 6, I've doubled my money. It's a different scenario. It's the same kind of deal, right? It's what's the investment cost? It's what's the risk, and how much does it have to move? How much does the floor on it, let's call it, have to move for you to be able to make significant money on it. So that's just an avenue to look at, especially a day like today where, where those cards might have been $4 or $5 yesterday. And people are like, I don't, this is one I can lose, or I have 10 of these. I'll sell 5 of them. And they sell them for $2 or $3 just to get some money in their balance. You take them. The other thing, this is also, I love your play about, cracking the whole deal. I'm not giving you a specific card today. All right. But this is an open your eyes kind of thing. Right. So I'm selling baseball cards now. All right. And I'm going to tell you why for a couple of reasons. Right. And I'm selling Tatis. I'm going to hang on to most Tatis. I love Tatis, but I'm selling my Gleyber Torres. I'm selling my Vlad Guerrero, especially him, because of all the talk of how healthy he is and how great he looks and what a great season he has. That guy basically has to bat 400 and hit 40 home runs to justify the prices that he has right now. So anything goes wrong, you're going to be selling your cards for less than they are now, right? I'm selling my Glaybers, I'm selling my Vlads, I'm selling my Bichettes, I'm selling my Lubobs, I'm selling them all, right? Here's why. There's a huge run-up right now already, right? These cards have already run up. My Acuñas, I'm selling them all. You can get a lot of money for them. Now, will they possibly go up slightly as the season gets closer? Possibly. Very possible. But here's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it is the beginning of February right now. And if you're going to sell like most people do on eBay, you got about a 30-day window for returns and whatnot. So you sell now, you sell for the next week or so, and you are ending that 30-day return window before the games even start. Before one of these guys twists their ankle, before one of them has a back injury, before one of them has a strain or a sprain, or before one of them is going through their first slump of the season, week 1, goes 0 for 5, and everybody wants to return the card. That's number one biggie, right? The whole return thing. I did this with Devontae Graham, and I was thrilled that I did it. He not only did it not perform, but last night he got hurt. I'm not saying any of these guys are going to get hurt, but 1, they could slump. 2, they could get hurt. 3, what we've seen, and guys, this is the important part of the little tidbit here. What we've seen in the last basketball season that's just gone on, in the last football season that went on, in the baseball season before this, in the football season, and so on and so forth, is that in the lead up, in the run up, the prices go up. The season starts, the prices go down. And after the season is underway, you can most likely buy these guys' cards, even the ones that are doing well, a la Kyler Murray. You talk about this all the time. You can still buy these cards back in, probably for less than what you're selling them for now. So myriad of reasons. Look at your baseball stuff. And any extras you have, trim some off, take some profit, move along. That's my play for today.
Love you guys.
Thank you for spending some time with us on another episode of the Lucas, Tigers, and Bronze Oh My podcast. Do us a favor and like, subscribe. You know what? Don't just like and subscribe. Everybody does that. If you like us, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies, tell everybody. And we hope you got something from spending some time with us today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.